Welcome to KidLife Training. Thank you so much for being a part of KidLife, for serving our children and families. Children's ministry is so very important. In fact, D.L. Moody, one of the greatest evangelists, actually said if he could relive his life, he would devote his entire ministry to reaching children. And Frederick Douglass said that it is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. Did you know that 85% of the people that come to Jesus did so before the age of 18? And Jesus himself said, "Let the little children come to me, and don't hinder them, for the kingdom of God belongs to such as these." When I was a child, this was my children's pastor, Barbara Tate. She made the biggest difference in my life, and the love that she showed me is a big part of who I am today. In fact, a fourth of pastors were in children's church somewhere. So you're not just preparing the next generation, you're actually preparing the leaders for the next generation. Here's a question for you. Who was your favorite teacher and why? I'm going to give you a moment to think about that. What is our main purpose here at KidLife? Our main purpose is to lead kids to become fully devoted followers of Christ. Just like our mission statement here at Life Source Church, committed to God, connected to others, changing our world. In KidLife, we want to help children grow closer to God and each other and be a light in the world. This is why we're doing what we do. So what is expected of you? Be responsible. Please accept the request that you are sent from Planning Center. It is sent to your cell phone and it is sent to your email. When you accept this request, it lets us know who is ready to serve. It also lets us know if you're not able to serve. So please accept this request, and if you do need off, please let us know at least 2 weeks in advance so we can plan accordingly. If you don't know how to use Planning Center, don't worry, because that will be part of our training later on. And if you still don't understand, don't worry, just let us know and we will walk you through it one-on-one. I am not a very technical person, so it did take me a while to get used to it, so don't feel bad if you're not understanding how to use it right away. Wear your KidLife uniform. This is your KidLife t-shirt and black pants or jeans. No leggings, please. This helps parents identify you as a part of our team. Be on time. We start our huddle for first service at 8:30 a.m. in the 4-year-old room. Huddle for second service, the 11 a.m. service, starts at 10:30 a.m. in the KidLife lobby and sometimes moves to the room 213. Breakfast is served from 8 to 8:30 a.m. You can get a breakfast ticket from Miss Melissa or whoever is at the check-in desk that morning. And breakfast is also served from 10 to 10:30 a.m. If you come after these designated times, you'll have to wait to after your serving time to eat. There always needs to be 2 people in the classroom at all times for the safety of the children and for your safety. So if you're not there, then your other teacher cannot receive kids. We know that things can come up and emergencies can happen, but other than that, other than those exceptions, please be on time. It's so very important. Just imagine if everybody was late, we wouldn't be able to receive any kids. And our prayer and huddle time is so important too. That is when we gather together as a team and get focused, and prayer is the most important thing we can do as a team to get ready for ministry. Be prepared. All the lessons are available on Planning Center. Please review them, and if you're a teacher in a classroom, please make your area inviting for the kids. For example, you could set the trains out and have that ready for the kids to play. It invites them to come and play. Just Look around and make your area a little more fun and inviting. Be passionate. Whatever you do, do it for the Lord. The scripture says whether you eat or drink, whatever you do, do it for God. That is real worship. So when you teach, teach with passion. When you worship, worship with passion. Always give your all with everything you do because you're doing it for Him. Go the extra mile. My husband and I were visiting 2 different churches, and our experiences were very different. In one church, when I took my crying 2-year-old, I was not even greeted. It was a very bad experience. And the other church, the teacher was so warm and welcoming and took my child and told me to go on to service, and she went that extra mile to talk to me and to comfort me even as the parent. And I'm telling you, it makes a big difference. Modeling. Always model appropriate behavior. Whatever you want your kids to do yourself. Statistics actually show that children learn 95% of what we're teaching them when we model it. So, I'll show you a negative example of this. My little Liam, our middle child, who's now 9, when he was 1, he would go around saying, no, 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 no. And I eventually realized that was me. So I tried to tell him what I wanted him to do instead of just telling him no all the time. A positive example, when worship's going on, worship. Everything you want them to do yourself. If you want kids to be respectful, you show them respect. They are learning from us all the time, even though we don't realize it. Please do not use your cell phone unless it's an emergency. I know those cell phones are like magnets, but unless it's something to do with the service, please don't use the cell phone. Imagine that you are on your cell phone while teaching is going on. That's telling the kids the teaching is not very important. Keep safety first. Don't turn your back on the kids, and when you're playing with the child, make sure that you're still paying attention to the rest of the classroom. A rule of thumb is if you don't think something is safe, then don't allow it. We will go over more safety procedures later on in this training. Keep to the schedule. There'll be times where you just have to go with the flow, and that's okay, and things happen, and sometimes in the older classes the spirit moves, and we want to be sensitive to that. But the other times, try to keep to the schedule. It's posted in the classrooms from ages 2 to 5. And in the 6 to 11-year-old room, you'll find a schedule by the back door. Meet the children's physical needs. Snacks in the young children's rooms, diaper changing time, bathrooms, water, meet their physical needs. Love on the kids. A wise person said that they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. It makes a difference. Look for children that are sitting by themselves and befriend them and try to help them make friends with other children. Hugs, smiles, but make sure that you ask them before you give them a hug because not everybody's in the mood for a hug all the time. And that's okay. Getting down on their level and talking to them, calling them by their name, being interested and involved in their lives, it goes a long way. Play with the kids. Get down on the floor, play choo-choo trains with them. In the 6 and 11-year-old room, play some basketball with them, play ping pong. That is a bridge to build a relationship with them. Have fun. If you have fun, I guarantee you they're having fun. Be a peacemaker. Help children when they're having struggles with each other. Help them to problem solve and to listen to each other. And you be that bridge that helps them to have unity. And then they'll learn how to do it on their own eventually. Leave your area clean and ready for the next children that come in to play. That means sort the toys. Please, this is very important that you make sure that the trains are with the trains and the babies are with the babies. And this actually helps children when they're going to play. Pick up the trash. Look on your shelves. Make sure that everything is thrown away. Leave it, this is a good idea, leave it like Jesus is coming in. Sometimes it has taken me a few hours just to get the rooms back in order when it would only have taken the teacher 10 to 20 minutes individually. So please, please leave that room in order and clean. Always represent Jesus wherever you are. You are the walking Bible to these children and families and to everybody around you. Keep connected with Jesus. praying, worshiping, reading your Bible. This is most important. In fact, the Bible even says is that our work is to know God. And when we know Him and receive His love, that love is going to flow through us to the kids. So before anything, make sure that you have that time with God. Discipline. Our definition that we adhere to here of discipline is training that brings obedience and self-control. Now, there are positive ways to discipline, and then there is a negative way to discipline. Let me tell you some of how we see discipline here. Positive discipline is guiding and teaching and is done with a child. It requires understanding, time, and patience, teaches problem solving, and builds a positive self-image, develops long-term self-control and cooperation. Negative discipline is controlled by fear, power, and coercion, is done to a child, elicits anger, guilt, resentment, and deceit, impairs communication and relationships, stops undesired behavior in a specific situation temporarily, but behavior often is exhibited in other ways. We definitely don't want to yell at the children. We can use a direct voice, but always in a loving tone. Use a natural consequence when you can. For example, if a child continues to use the puppets in a wrong way, then they lose their turn with the puppets for the rest of the day. To use them again the next time. When not to use a natural consequence is when a child is in danger of hurting themselves, hurting others, or hurting property. Be consistent. Always try to do what you say as long as you can. Focus on the positive. Positive reinforcement goes a long way, especially for those attention-seeking children. If you have a few children misbehaving, call attention to the one that is behaving. And I guarantee you, most of the time, those other kids are going to start behaving too. See the good and say it, because you're always going to get more of what you're focused on. Give a 5-minute warning before transitioning. This can help prepare the kids. It doesn't seem like a big deal to us, but when they're engaged in their massive tower building or game that they're playing, a warning can help them get ready to clean up when it's time. Safety. Safety is a priority here at LifeSource and KidLife. Here are some safety tips. Children's name tags. For security, please make sure that the children have their name tags on before they pass through security. And at pickup time, that parents have their pickup card before they're allowed in the children area. In the classroom situation, please make sure that that when children arrive, they have their name tag on, or refer them back to the check-in area. And at pickup time, please match the parent's pickup card to the child's name tag. That will ensure we get the right child with the right parent. If a child loses the name tag, look at your classroom roster. It should have the child's number next to their name so you can match it with the parent's card. If a parent loses a security tag, have them show you their driver's license. If their name does not match the child's name on their license, then have them see someone in the KidLife lobby. This is very, very important. Adults are never to be alone with any minors. This protects us as leaders, and this protects all of the children. If you are in a classroom and you need help for any reason, please use your pager. Here's how we handle emergency procedures. First of all, if you ever hear anything that sounds like a gunshot, please lock down your classrooms and lock down your area. What is lockdown? I'm going to tell you. When we say lockdown, you shut and lock your door. Please put your doorstop underneath the door as a wedge. Next, put the paper on the window to cover it by moving it over the Velcro. Next, turn off the classroom lights and sit your children and yourself where you are not visual from the door. And please remain seated quietly until the lockdown is over. We have a script so you can go over practicing these things with your children in a non-threatening way that won't provoke fear, but just help them understand we want to be prepared for things that will probably never happen. Lockdown in the KidLife lobby. First, you go over the intercom and press the group button, holding it down the whole time and saying lockdown. Next, you will go to to the double doors and tie them. And after that, you may exit the premises as quick as you can. When you hear the fire alarm, classroom teachers, please first shut and lock your door. Many times people have pulled the alarm as a joke, or they've pulled it to get people to come out for wrong intentions. After shutting and lock your door, wait for us to come over the intercom to tell you to exit. If we do not respond, lock down your room and stay there. If we do say exit, this is how to exit in each classroom. For infants, please put 4 children into the crib. One person will push this crib, and the other 2 leaders will carry 1 child, and everyone will follow the exit plan on the wall outside and wait outside until you hear all clear from us. 1-year-olds, the same procedure as the infants, except a leader can hold a hand of a child instead of carrying them. For the 2-year-olds, please have children line up on the colored line in your classroom. There is a rope on the white shelf. Have them hold that rope in a hand like a choo-choo train. Please count your children before exiting and follow the exit plan on the wall. Once you get outside, please count your children again. Then stay outside seated until we say all clear. For 3-year-olds and up, please have your children line up in the room. Count your children, then follow the exit plan on your wall. Count your children again once you get outside. Stay seated outside until we say all clear. If there is a shooter, and again, we are preparing for something that, God willing and most likely, will never happen, but we want to be prepared. It takes the police about 3 minutes to respond and get to a scene once they are called. Our job is to keep the children as safe as we can and ourselves until the police arrive. For all classroom teachers in the KidLife lobby, follow your lockdown procedures. If you are in any other part of the church, number 1, if you can, run and exit. Wherever you are anytime, always look around and see where are your exits so you are prepared if this happens to you anywhere you are. If you cannot run and exit, number 2, go and hide. But don't hide underneath a chair or somewhere in an open space. Hide in a room that you can lock the door or barricade it in some way. There have been many people that have hidden under a chair or tried to play dead, and they ended up dead because the shooter will shoot them. If you cannot hide, number 3, fight. Defend yourself. 13% of shooters were stopped by unarmed people. So fight and try to unarm that shooter. Going back to the rooms being locked down. In the Virginia Tech shooting, there was one classroom that was able to lock itself down. They actually used their feet as a wedge instead of a doorstop, and the shooter was not able to enter that classroom, and everybody in that classroom survived. It wasn't the same in the other rooms. So this shows us just how important it is that we get those classrooms locked down as fast as we can. When police arrive, follow their commands. Show them your hands and remain still. If you can, help them. Give them a description, point, show them where the shooter is. Always be calm. I want to end this portion of our training with another quote. Forrest Whitcraft said, 100 years from now, it will not matter what my bank account was, the sort of house I lived in, or the kind of car I drove, but the world may be different because I was important in the life of a child. Thank you for making the difference in our children. Now it's time for us to break out into our different sessions. We have check-in, ages 0 to 5, and ages 6 to 11. Go to the area that you normally serve in, but later on we're going to have this training available and we would like you to watch the other sessions online.